This dad felt really worried when a police officer stopped him while he was driving with his kid in the back seat. Before this happened, Leventhal was just having a normal Monday afternoon in April 2016, driving around Westland, Michigan with his young daughter Lauren. Meanwhile, Joshua Scaglio, a cop from the City of Westland Police Department, was also in the area on the beat. As it turned out, the two men were about to meet. Scaglio had spotted Dell's vehicle with tinted windows, and these were of concern to the officer. Indeed, Michigan traffic law prohibits tinted windows that reflect 35% or more of light. It's perhaps no surprise then that Scaglio wanted to investigate whether Dell's car was breaking this rule. As a result, while on his journey, Dell spotted the flashing lights that every driver dreads. While speaking to ABC News about the incident in April 2016, Dell revealed how he had felt at the moment he was being pulled over. He said, "When I saw the lights, I did what pretty much everybody does when they get pulled over. My heart dropped into my stomach." As Dell had predicted, Scaglio had made the stop because of the father's Impala's unlawful windows. After coming around to Dell's car, though, the cop had also noticed that Lauren was in the back without a car seat. As a consequence, Dell was asked to exit his vehicle, something which really made him fear the worst. Then, Scaglio started to question Dell. However, instead of giving the driver a ticket, he listened thoughtfully. In fact, he even saw some common ground between the two of them. From what had happened next, it seems as if the officer's heart went out to Dell and the reasoning behind his lack of a car seat. The reasoning, moreover, was heartbreaking. Specifically, Dell confessed that his little girl had grown out of her car seat and that he couldn't afford a new one for the toddler. It also appeared that Dell's own emotions rose to the surface as he told his sad tale. Scaglio would tell ABC News, "Dad even teared up a little." Then, after hearing Dell's explanation, Scaglio had an idea. The officer would later explain to the Daily Mail, "I said to myself, this is the perfect opportunity to help this guy. And I said to myself, there's a perfect opportunity for me to help this guy." So with a plan in mind, Scaglio asked Dell to follow him. Not to the police station, however, but to Walmart. There, with his own money, the compassionate cop bought a car seat for his daughter. With an extra special touch, Scaglio even picked out a pretty pink seat, Lauren's favorite color, that also came complete with a butterfly motif. That heartwarming gesture would be recognized by a whole new audience when Dell returned to social media. He recounted the tale in a post on Facebook, where he additionally praised Scaglio for being a good guy. Dell further revealed that he'd been trying to trace the officer who'd done the good deed. At the end of this post, Dell commented that Scaglio had said, "What good would giving you a ticket do besides putting you further in the hole and making it harder for you to come up?" Indeed, Scaglio had seemingly recognized that he needed to give the dad a way out and not more debilitating debt. At first, though, the City of Westland Police Department had no idea who'd stepped in to help Dell. In fact, Scaglio hadn't informed any of his fellow officers about the incident, and the police department seemed to understand why. In a post that it would later make on Facebook, it said, "It's clear that his sole purpose was to assist the driver, not receive recognition." That post also commended Dell for coming forward with a story, not least because it had touched Scaglio's colleagues. And once the caring cop's identity had been revealed, the police department gave Dell the opportunity to thank his savior in person when the two men were reunited at the station. While speaking to ABC News, however, Scaglio played down his role as a knight in shining armor. The humble officer instead claimed, according to the network's report, that he was just doing his job. He added, "I related to Dell's story. I'd related to the fact that I'd been in that situation before." Indeed, it seems that acknowledgement and appreciation were not the main motivations for Scaglio's kind gift. That was emphasized somewhat by the cop's remarks to ABC News. Rather than seeking praise for what he'd done for Dell, the officer simply requested that anybody affected by the story should just pay it forward with their own act of charity. Whether Scaglio wanted the recognition or not, however, he would soon get it. That's because in July 2016, he and Dell were invited on Steve Harvey's daytime show to talk about their initial encounter. The pair sat together under a screen that read "The Power of Forgiveness." Dell was in a suit, while Scaglio was wearing his uniform. And this isn't the only example of a police officer going above and beyond to help someone in need. In fact, in the same month as Dell and Scaglio's first meeting, Huntington Beach Police Department's Zach Pricer also made headlines for another very generous act. Specifically, Officer Pricer momentarily distracted a homeless girl from her situation by playing hopscotch with her, but there was another reason for the game too, as Pricer revealed when interviewed by ABC News in April 2016. He explained that he needed to make sure the little girl was okay, so he had to gain her trust and make her feel comfortable around him first. Similarly, like Scaglio, Pricer didn't want to make a big deal out of his actions. He told ABC News that many police officers and communities across the country do similar things every day. So, in a time when there's a lot of conflict and tension between the police and American citizens, it's important to remember that there are officers who are more than willing to go the extra mile. Dell's experience with Scaglio serves as proof that some cops indeed do just that.